Hello, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a useful way to use your Memory Misti. I had spoiled myself quite a bit when the Memory Misti first came out with the bundle with Gina K Designs Mega Wreath Builder. With the dollar conversion from US to Canadian and then duty fees and taxes and shipping, I had spent more than I care to admit. I was desperate to get my hands on the Memory Misti and the Mega Wreath Builder. And although I've made a few lovely pieces with this in the Gina K Designs Mega Wreath Builder, I found that I'm just not using the Memory Misti enough, and I'm feeling a little bit guilty about it. So today I wanted to share with you another way to use it. If you're a card maker like me and like to mass produce cards for Christmas or to sell at craft shows or just generally like to do stamp layering, then this video is for you. So here is my Memory Misti in all its glory. I'll do my best to try to keep this baby in frame for you. It's a little bit hard to film. My Misti happened to come with two pieces of foam, one a bit thicker than the other, so I have taped my Mega Wreath Builder to the thicker piece for no particular rhyme or reason. When I'm not using it, I slip it underneath and lay the thinner piece of foam on top. So first I'm going to start off by showing you how I extend my Misti to create 4 working stations inside of it. I first lay down some painter's tape that I know I can peel up nice and easy and that won't wreck the foam mat in my Misti. I then cut up a few strips of adhesive-backed fun foam and adhere them to the painter's tape, trying to get them as straight as possible. This will create edges to butt my cardstock up against and create 2 extra sides for me to work on. My first example today is geared towards stamp layering. I'm using the Gina K Designs Butterfly Kisses stamp set. Now this particular set only has 2 layers. I will start off in the bottom left corner, line up my stamps, ink, and stamp. Then position the cardstock in the next corner and line up my second layer, ink, and stamp. If you had another layer, you could do this 2 more times and have 4 working sections that you can ink up and stamp and not have to remove the pieces, which is awesome for mass producing. Now, I didn't get this exactly perfect. I had trouble with the camera overhead, but you can spend more time to ensure perfect positioning. My next example features another Gina K Designs stamp set, and it's a stippled flower set from a previous Stamp TV kit. I'm going to line 2 of the flowers up in the bottom left-hand corner of my Memory Misti. I'll ink those up and stamp. And then I'm going to shift the paper over to the bottom right-hand corner, and I'll find the next 2 layers to this set, which has the little stippling design. And I'm going to get those positioned and look through the stamp. Sorry that my head gets in the way there. I want to make sure that they're lined up properly. And I'll get those lined up, and then I will pick them up with the door of the Misti and ink them up and stamp them. Now this set only has 2 layers. I'll move the cardstock to the top right corner, and I will select 2 more stamps from the set, and these are some of the leaves for the flowers. I will ink those up and stamp them, and then I'll move the paper over to the top left corner and select the stipple detail for the leaves. I'll ink those and stamp them. So then you'll see I used all 4 corners of my Misti, and I was able to stamp layer 2 sets of images. And if you were mass producing cards, you could just go through this, changing out the color and pump out a ton of flowers. And they would be perfectly positioned. You only have to line them up once, and then if you want to change between colors, just wipe off the stamp and choose the next color, and you're good to go. For my last example, I will complete a card from start to finish. This example features the stamp set from this Fruit of the Season Stamp TV kit. I'll be using all of the products here. Gina K Designs ink, the snowflake set from the Stamp TV kit, the Memory Misti of course, some heavyweight cardstock for my card base, a black piece for matting, some white cardstock for stamping, and then some ribbon, scissors, tape, acrylic block, and some VersaPoint ink for my sentiment. I will be using the 5 snowflakes from this set. So I've set up my stamps in 4 corners. I've tested them out while setting them up so that they would be where I want them. You can see the raised fun foam dimension that will create our edge to butt the cardstock up against. And then I'm going to start with the first layer. I will ink and stamp, and then move the cardstock up to the top corner, and go ahead and do the same thing. Again, I will ink and stamp, and I will continue to do that all the way through until I've got my pattern laid out. Here's my finished piece. I added the first step and the second step a second time so that we get a more filled in background. And now I'm going to finish up this card. I have a piece of cardstock, black cardstock to mat this. I'm going to stamp the greeting here in the top. It says, "If hugs were snowflakes, I'd send you a blizzard," and that's from the same set. And I've got a piece of ribbon attached to it. Also, I used a VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I'm going to use my reverse tweezers as an extra hand to help me tie up this bow, or knot in this case. I'm just going to tie a little knot. In my first example, I tied a bow. And we'll just get that adhered to the card base. Now, I do have it a little crooked. I noticed this and it was too late. So sometimes a wet glue can help just to give you a chance to reposition it. But in this case, it's too late, so we're just going to go with it. It's handmade, not perfect. So here are my finished cards. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today, and I hope that you learned some extra tips on how to get more out of your Memory Misti. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it here with me. I appreciate all of the support, the likes, and the comments, and I hope that you will like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, you can click the bell to be notified of any future uploads. Please leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of the video, and if you have any tips to share for extra use out of your Memory Misti. And have a wonderful day.